Hey guys, I am your Monday host for this is what the Fictitious Slaughter crew have been calling Hunger Games Week. Woohoo! So the thing is, Hunger Games comes out this Friday, the 23rd? Yes, 23rd of March, and I'm super excited for it. I know the rest of my crew, co-hosts, are excited as well. I'm gonna go see it at midnight, hopefully with Thursday and Tuesday. Thursday might have been grounded, but we shall see what happens with that. Anyway, so in honor of that, I would like to do a review of the latest book in one of my favorite dystopian series, which is the same subgenre that Hunger Games is in. The first book in the series was called Divergent by Veronica Roth, and this is an advanced copy of her second book in the series. It's pretty awesome. It's called Insurgent, and it's really thick. It's 525 pages, and it is coming out this January, February, March, April, May 2012. So the book is amazing, not gonna lie. It starts off immediately where you ended. Like, you could have just squished the two books together and just made one really long epic, like the Odyssey epic. It starts off, so Triss, the main character, is on a train with Tobias, aka For, her lover, her brother Caleb, her frenemy, pretty much, Peter, who she recently shot in the arm, because Peter is a awful, awful person, and Tobias's abusive father, Marcus, who's actually one of the leaders of Abnegation. The Erudite just attacked Abnegation using mind-controlled Dauntless soldiers, so this little group is fleeing to the Amity headquarters to help, you know, because everything is crazy and the world is kind of ending. So they went to talk to Amity to see what they could do. Oh, they also sent some Abnegation there, so they're going to go see them. Once they get there, the Amity say, well, in this war, we're not going to really do anything. We're going to be all neutral. Then Erudite and some of the Dauntless who have allied with the Erudite go and search the Amity compound for the Abnegation fleers, refugees, that's the word, and Triss and her posse. So Abnegation and Triss and her posse all flee from Amity, who have chosen to be neutral, so they're like, okay, come on in, search for them, why don't you? So Triss, her brother Caleb, Tobias, and Susan, Triss's old neighbor from Abnegation, are all running away, and they're fleeing, and you think Peter's fleeing as well. Triss actually saved Peter's life real quickly, because one of the Dauntless was going to shoot him, and out of instinct she pushed him out of the way. But she's been having trouble with like guns because she killed Will, one of her best friends, and that's kind of hard on a person. So yeah, that's what happens. They think Marcus is dead, but they see him escaping, and all they know is it's Triss, Caleb, Tobias, and Susan, and they're running away, and they're like, oh my god, they're totally gonna catch us if we stay on foot, so let's hop the train. So they hop the train. Guess who's in the train car? Edward, from the first book, and a bunch of other factionless people, who, like, if you don't know the factionless, they're if you forgot who they were, they're like homeless people, but kind of scary. Because they were either kicked out of the faction or they failed a faction initiation ceremony. So they're like, hey, Edward, remember that time when we were all trying to get into Dauntless and Peter stabbed you in the eye with a butter knife? They don't actually say that, although that would have been really funny. It's kind of more intense than that. Edward, I kind of liked him in the first book, and I was sad that he had to go. He was disappeared. But now I don't really like him anymore because he's mentally unstable. Although I thought it was very cool that he has an eye patch. Anyway, so they're all almost about to get killed by Edward and the other factionalists, even though she's all, Edward, but I thought we were friends. Remember what I did for you? But he's like, what have these people ever done for me? So let's kill them all. Like I said, the factionalists are a bit scary. Tobias, aka For, is all, my name is Tobias Eaton. That's why you don't want to kill me. And they're like, oh, Tobias. And then, someone's looking for you, Tobias. And then Triss is like, do you know who this is? And he's all, well, yes I do. So Tobias has his secrets. Tris has her secrets as well. Their relationship is a bit tense because of these secrets. Like, you don't know what's going on with them. They still love each other, obviously. Tobias says I love you to her while she's sleeping, and I think Tris does while he's sleeping. So they don't actually, well, he thinks she's sleeping. So they don't actually know that they both said I love you to each other, but they know that they care. Okay, so they're taken to the factionless headquarters. Guess what? Tobias's mom, who we thought was dead, you know, Tris kind of went to her funeral, is actually the leader of the factionless. She was kicked out, exiled, because she had an affair, I believe. Tobias and his mama aren't very close, though, because he's like, I get she had to leave, but why didn't she ever think of taking me with her? So his mama doesn't understand why he's upset, because, you know, people tend to get angry when you leave them with an abusive parent. You crazy, crazy lady. Tobias's mom wants Tobias to get back and be a leader for the factionlist. Yeah! Actually for the Dauntless as well. Tris overhears this. Tobias doesn't actually tell her. Tris doesn't really like Tobias's mom. She thinks that she's a liar. She thinks that his mom is manipulating her, and Tobias is all, oh, don't be like that. And so Tris and Tobias go off to the Candor headquarters where all the loyal Dauntless are, and Caleb, Tris's brother, and Susan, Tris's neighbor, ex-neighbor, go off to see some of the other abnegation safe houses and check in with them. And so they split off. They go, while Tris reunites with a bunch of her buddies while they're at the Candor headquarters, you know, all the Dauntless peeps, and she's like, hey, and they're like, hey, and it's great. Anyway, so they're all hanging, and then guess what? Dauntless gets attacked, well, by, the loyal Dauntless get attacked by the non-loyal, the traitor Dauntless, and other erudites. They try and make everyone fall asleep, and they shoot them with these darts. This is paraphrasing, you can totally tell. This is where it kind of gets confusing. So they're hit with these darts, they're supposed to fall asleep, they're looking for the Divergents. They find some of the Divergents. They end up saving each other, and then they spend the rest of the day pulling blue darts out of people's arms. And then, okay, so the Candor headquarters people, the main guy in Candor calls for a meeting with Janine, the head of the erudite, because they're like, we should just solve our problems through talking because we are Candor and that is what we do. Yeah, everyone's like, dude, you're gonna get killed at that meeting. Anyway, so the Dauntless go, the loyal Dauntless go, and they spy on the meeting because they want to see what happens. And Janine's like, we won't kill your faction, Candor, if you give us these three things. And it's, you tell us who the Divergents are, you tell us who's hit with the blue goo dart things, and you send us the Divergents? It's some three things like that. Anyway, so they're sent off, and then all the Dauntless go back in life. We're leaving because we don't want to be sent off to the Candor, so that's where we're going. They elect new leaders, though, because all of their old leaders are dead, and they want to kill Peter. Peter the betrayer, he comes, no, they want to kill Eric. Peter's off at the headquarters of Erudite, being a traitor again, but Eric, the old leader of Dauntless, came in and he shot this kid in the head, for goodness sake, a child. So they're like, oh, we need to kill him. But only leaders of Dauntless can execute people. So they're like, we'll elect new leaders because all their leaders are traitors. So Tori, the tattoo artist, is elected a leader. Harrison, this random bug guy, is elected a leader, who's apparently like very. And Four, aka Tobias, is elected a leader. Tris was almost elected a leader. 4 of them were nominated, but Tris took out her nomination because she's like, I don't want to be a leader of Dauntless. So they all decide to execute Eric. They shoot Eric. They leave. Oh, that was the other condition, to release Eric. So they leave, and as they're walking out, the head of Candor is like, where are you going? What are you doing? And they're like, oh, well, we killed Eric, and now we're leaving. So good luck with that. The Dauntless go back to their old stomping ground, their little compound. Underground. And while they're there, there's some cameras they didn't miss that the erudite are still looking through, and they send these people off to the ledge, some of them who were hit with a blue goo dart, and they're like, this is a message to the Divergent, every day you don't come, we'll throw more people off the ledge. And then Marlene, one of Triss's really good friends, steps off the ledge and she dies. Which is really sad because Marlene and Uri were finally getting together. I hate this. In dystopian fictions, you can never have really good romances because everyone is dying and the world is collapsing. So it's kind of sad.